TV reality show host RuPaul is all dressed up, as usual, and he's got a brand new Emmy. He's part of a tradition that long predates television, as Nancy Giles can tell us.
Since the ancient Greeks, men have been dressing in women's clothing on stage. Men portrayed women in the plays of William Shakespeare. And many of us grew up watching Flip Wilson and Milton Berle on TV. Or Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon in the movie Some Like It Hot.
What's the matter now?
How do they walk in these things, huh?
Then there's Australian comic Barry Humphries, the irrepressible Dame Edna. Remember him with Bob Simon on 60 Minutes?
And it wouldn't surprise me in the least if 30 Minutes found a little bit of this footage.
60 Minutes, Dame Edna.
Well, you're giving me extra time.
Indeed, because you deserve it.
Drag, wearing clothing of the opposite sex, has come a long way.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Just how far?
Now, remember, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen in here? Amen. All right.
RuPaul's Drag Race is a top-rated TV game show and just finished its 10th season with more than 1 million viewers each week.
Go!
Contestants, yes, they're all men, compete for prizes and the title America's Next Drag Superstar. At the center of it all, RuPaul, arguably the most successful drag performer of all time. And now the winner of 3 Outstanding Host Emmys.
What's going on?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, tell me about it.
Last week, the show also won the Emmy for Outstanding Reality Competition Program.
I am your family. We are a family here.
I think RuPaul's Drag Race at its core is about the tenacity of the human spirit.
I love you.
I love you.
To watch a boy play with feminine things in a society that is so masculine and come through it and find their fire and their own voice is a very powerful thing.
See you. 23 love.
It's not just a TV show. Fans line up at his pop-up store in Los Angeles to buy RuPaul merchandise.
He's a great role model for sure. Even my family, who is from the conservative Midwest, has watched RuPaul's Drag Race and really loves it.
And some people might say I'm fake.
And Thursday nights are drag nights at gay bars across the country.
They just happen. That's the great part.
Chris McCarthy is president of VH1.
It happens in every city all over the country, and in many places, the smaller the city, the bigger the party.
And yet I know that there are probably people who don't really dig what you do. What would you say to them?
What other people think of me is none of my business, but I also know that this show is for the kids out there who are looking for some type of guidance. These kids on our show have been through hell, literally. Their families have thrown them out of the house. They've been abused and beaten up.
Ladies.
But they have come through and shined. That is the lesson right there.
RuPaul Andre Charles was born in San Diego in 1960. Almost from the first, let's just say he stood out in the crowd.
People in my family, my mother, my father, basically ignored it. You know, it wasn't something that they knew how to deal with. You know, the kids in the neighborhood say, oh, you're a sissy. I'm like, oh, okay, you know. But because I am a sweetheart, no one ever really came for me in a really negative way.
He says his parents' marriage was not a good one. At age 15, RuPaul moved to Atlanta to live with his sister. And not long afterward, RuPaul Andre Charles became RuPaul.
I was always looking for the way to fit onto this planet. And I love to dress up. Through drag, I was able to find who I really am, period.
He danced in bars and joined bands.
Drag was never about wanting to be like a woman. It was always about challenging identity values of society and saying, I am whatever I put on.
I think drag is an escape. It allows them to be somebody that maybe they aren't in real life.
Michelle Visage is a longtime friend and a female judge on the show.
And I tell parents that are religious or don't want to accept their gay child that they don't have to approve it. They just have to accept it. Their kids aren't looking for their approval. Just accept them for who they are.
I want to go further. I want to take my RuPaul message to the world.
RuPaul says he found acceptance when he moved to New York. He appeared in the famous B-52's Love Shack video. Then he was the guy, girl, in the super dance hit Supermodel.
Welcome back from the break. Did you miss me?
Soon there were radio and TV shows. Thanks to RuPaul, drag has come a long way.
Oh, look. Oh, it's lined on the inside.
He's come a long way, too. Today, he's living his dreams.
This is my latest car.
Meet RuPaul, collector of vintage autos.
What is this? I know it's a Mercedes.
Yeah, it's a 1968 280 SL.
That is a badass car.
I love it so much.
Then, a few years ago, he met George LaBarre, an Australian painter and rancher. They married last year. And consider this. In 2017, Time magazine named RuPaul one of the most influential people in the world.
I didn't set out to do that, but I was smart enough to realize this is my calling. You have to be open enough to hear the universe's stage direction.